Okay, I think the officer's coming now. Hopefully we'll get this over with.
Hi, you must be Marilyn Page.
Yeah, how you doing?
All right, how can I be of service today?
Okay, so I want to do a follow-up to a claim that I'm claiming I'm being stalked. And I've met an officer here before.
Okay.
And he said he couldn't really help me until I got more information.
Okay.
So I wanted to pass along what I got so far. So it's some kind of stalking network, and they're doing drug trafficking, sex trafficking, child pornography. They're going into the homeless community, Section 8 community.
How are they stalking you?
Vehicular stalking. I've had people.
And where do you live?
I live in Kettering,
Okay.
and also when I visit my mother.
Where does your mother live?
She lives on a rider off Germantown.
Okay.
And she's also getting stalked.
Okay, how's she being stalked?
Most of it is vehicular stalking, and we also get invasive space, verbal assaults in person. She's elderly. I'm 49.
Who's Tasha Williams to you?
Okay, so she's a stalker that is involved with trafficking women.
How does she know you?
They're stalking me.
Why is she stalking you?
I don't know. I think she's just a psychotic, obsessed loser.
Okay, so you really don't know why she'd be following you or anything, but how'd you get her name?
Yeah, well, I got her name.
You say you don't know her or anything like that. But,
yeah, I got her name.
But you got her name, but how'd you get her name?
I got her name because I asked her, and she was inebriated.
Okay, when did you ask her?
This was about 3 years ago.
Okay. What kind of car does she drive?
I didn't see her car.
Okay, how does she stalk you then?
I saw her around Salem Avenue.
Okay, just because you saw her around Salem Avenue, does that mean she's stalking you?
Well, yeah, see, that's the awkward explanation that I had to make to the cops, and I'm kind of... well, I'll tell you basically. So on the back of this...
I'm reading it right now. Go ahead.
No, on the back of the...
Yeah, the little... Yeah, what's that?
So, there's this thing called organized stalking and gang stalking.
Okay.
And it's basically some kind of targeting program. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything with some kind of criminal network. There was just a protest. We went to a protest last year. They had another protest on August 29th. I went to a rally in Boston about it. And I'm not really clear on who's behind it. It's not the police department, because it's a legal activity.
Right.
And we're just stalked. We're followed. We're bothered. They come into our homes. And it's this massive network, and it's the burden of proof is on us. And so I'm trying to be as diligent as I can to prove it, because a lot of it looks like they're using, directed energy weapons. I have a trifield meter. I don't know if you know that. It measures microwaves. We get shot with DEWs, which, are directed energy weapons.
Okay. What is your name?
Marilyn Page. Yeah. The last officer I spoke with, he said, I believe you, and it's awful, but it's over our jurisdiction.
What's your address in Kettering?
It's 1480 Spring Hill Avenue.
And Kettering police are aware of this?
Yeah, I made a report to the police in Kettering.
Marilyn, what's your social security number?
It's last 4 digits are 3795. Here, I'll give you my ID.
What's the rest of it?
Yeah.
Okay, your ID.
Yeah. Let's see. So the last officer, I didn't bring his name. I told him that there was one man involved who I thought his name was Johnson. It may not be, but he's HIV positive. He grew up in DeSoto, Bass, and
I'm kind of curious on how you know all about these people.
right.
I mean, it sounds, to be honest with you, it sounds like you're stalking them.
No.
Because you know all this information about them.
Right.
You know, you're telling me all about what they've done and all this other kind of stuff. But yet when I ask you how you know them, you say, well, I really don't know them. I don't know who they are.
Okay.
If you understand where I'm coming from.
I'm avoiding, yeah, I don't want to get flagged for I don't want to sound mentally ill, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
because
I mean,
I'm not.
Like when I asked you about
Right.
Tasha Williams, you said you don't know anything about her, but you have a long history of everything in here about her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you know all this stuff about this one person when you don't even know her?
Okay, so I don't want to get flagged, and I'm going to tell you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not. I don't want to get flagged for mental illness.
Okay.
So I just, I'm an artist. I'm a housewife.
But how do you get all this information about someone? I mean, you even got her social security number and everything.
Right. That may not actually be it. So, what I've been trying to prove that this weapon called remote neural monitoring, which it's in the press, you have to hunt it. And right here, if you look at this right here, these are 2 websites. Targeted Justice, Richard Lighthouse, and then a CIA document.
Have you brought it up to the CIA and stuff?
I called them.
Since you got all their information and everything.
Right.
I mean, I can document it, but that's about all I'd be able to do. I don't know how I'd be able to stop it. Again, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how you know these people and how you know so much about them. It's kind of bizarre, if you understand what I'm saying.
It is.
To know so much about these people, yet again, you don't know them.
Right.
But you do know them because it has all their stuff here.
Right.
It's like this Charles Walker. Who is he to you? I mean, he's been torturing you when he's on crack.
Right. Exactly.
He's a convicted pedophile. He went to Daymont West for counseling for child abuse.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like your mother used to work there, but that's closed now.
Yes, that's true. That is true, officer.
Marilyn, what's a good telephone number for you?
Damn. I haven't memorized my phone number.
That's okay. Did you call in from it?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it'll be on there.
All right, so, what can I say? It's organized crime, okay? Now, Tasha Williams is, unfortunately, a dangerous psychopath. I don't know where she lives. I just know that she's involved with this kind of gang stalking network that is all across the country. I mean, I went to California to escape it and got stalked to California. It's making me so nervous. I just now have gotten over the anxiety of knowing that, I'm being followed most of the time. I've given the police department evidence. The first officer that I told was a Kettering police officer, and he said, well, I don't know exactly what you're saying is true, but you have to get the plates. If it's a repeat plate, I've had this white woman in a white car drive by my home and make make hand signals, staring. I mean, people driving around me with a gun signal to their head. Like, why would they do that? That could be random. It could be just a coincidence. People coming up to me in public, acknowledging me, that I know who you are. One of the restaurants downtown, a friend of mine opened. Someone had gone down there and made they did a smear campaign, so they're following places I go to.
Well, it's kind of interesting to me that most of these people are into child porn or doing something with children.
Right.
That's that really has me bothered.
So what are the rules about saying if you believe someone's unstable? Say someone says to you I don't believe this, that an alien talks to me. I don't believe in aliens. I'm just saying.
Okay.
What are the rules about if someone tells you that and you're talking to them?
What are the rules about it?
Yeah, what do you do when?
You might end up saying, okay, so you listen to you get to talk to aliens. You're fortunate, or unfortunate, one or the other.
Okay.
The thing is, as long as a person is capable of maintaining, taking care of themselves,
right,
and stuff, there's not too much we'd be able to do. I mean, talking to an alien, people believe in that. Well, then the thing is that might be where you might want to talk to a psychiatrist or something like that. I mean, that's something that the individual would have to do or the family members would have to do. I mean, I can refer. That's the only thing I think I'd be able to do. But, I mean, the other thing is if someone's not being able to take care of themselves or as far as providing food, shelter, the necessities of their life, or if they're wanting to hurt themselves, then that's when I need to step in.
Okay.
Anything other than that, I can do referrals.
Okay. So.
Is that what you think we need to do here?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I paint watercolors in my garden.
See, that's fun.
Yeah, so what I'm basically, it's called gang stalking.
Right.
And let me see.
But then, like the cover officer says, we almost need vehicle descriptions and license plate numbers,
right,
to be able to go forward with anything else. Something that we can actually go off and try proving.
Right.
But I mean, like right now, the stuff I'm reading here, I'm still dumbfounded how you know so much about each individual one of these people.
Right.
So it's like you've been stalking them, getting the information from them.
Yeah, not at all.
But that's what
it looks like. Okay.
I mean, I ask you about a particular person, you're like, well, I don't really know them. But you talk to this girl, and you got her name, and then all of a sudden from there, all of a sudden you got all this other stuff about her.
Okay, so I've already, I had printed out an affidavit that I would normally read at the police department, and so I just wanted to attach that to the old report.
Okay.
That I already made 3 reports already.
Okay.
And I already told them you can look at it on your computer and just say, oh, she's saying that this is happening. I mean, I can go over it with you.
I can refer this to a detective and see if they can look into this. Other than that, there's not too much I'm going to be able to do on this.
Okay, so basically, it's what it looks like.
Is this my copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll just go over really brief. So what it looks like is there's some kind of rogue element out of some kind of weapons developer, like Lockheed Martin or the Air Force Base, or some corrupt group, NCIA. That they always get exposed.
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
With these websites that you have back here.
Yeah.
Do they talk about this stuff that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Is there anything they have brought up that will tell you how to stop it or how to block it?
So they suggest Faraday cages.
What's Faraday cages? Never heard of that.
Right. So a Faraday cage is it's a structure that has a metal interior exterior.
Okay, and it soaks in the rays, the waves, so they can't get to you.
Oh yeah.
Or obtain anything.
I have on my head really perfect circles, like scars, on my head. And
Really?
yeah, they're not really obvious.
Okay, it's not real. You can't. It's hard to see,
Well,
but you know it's there.
I took photos, and I thought, oh my god, look at that. And there, I get like these shocks to my body, and it's in the New York Times. There's articles all
Right.
over. Cuba embassy. These people that were at the Cuban embassy, they were shot with directed energy weapons. It's common. There's people making them and selling them online. It's like the gun is irrelevant.
Right. I got you.
Like, and it's so scary. Like, I told a cop, I said, he was just cruising around. I gave him a flyer, and I said, if you had a task force and had someone come in who was like Richard Lighthouse works for NASA.
Right.
You could vet him. He's not mentally.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have the manpower to be able to do that.
Well, it would be like a few guys that would say, well, what is it? If someone calls in and says, oh, I'm being stalked, and then I'm being shot with directed energy weapons.
Right, then we'd have something to fall.
Then you won't say, like, well, that's not possible. They don't have weapons like that. And, you can look at Lockheed Martin's website.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they sell them. At the protest I went to in Chicago, Dr. Matthew Aaron, he's from Canada, and he had to come here. He was shot with some kind of microwave energy weapon from another building, documented it, and had the evidence.
Oh, wow.
And so a lot of it's like the voice, they call it the voice of God weapon. So, a detective had gone on a news show and showed how it worked, and it's just like some kind of technical device that if you aim it at someone's head and you just say like, horrible things to them, they hear it, and then you say like, well, that's weird. Why would I hear that at 40?
Right.
I'm not schizophrenic.
That's just kind of bizarre.
Right, and so then I go online, and it turns out, it's a military-grade weapon, and it's sold. Also, they have used it for the terrorist watch list. They justified it under the guise that if say you don't like your ex-wife,
Mm-hmm.
and you just want to terrorize her,
You can do it that way without being seen or.
Yeah, and report and say, well, I think she's a threat to society, and they use a coded language. So the woman that works for this, that has this website, her name's Midge Mathis.
Okay.
And so she gets microwave burns, and she thought,
But have they found a way to block those waves? There should be something.
I mean, you're walking around, and you have to live in a metal cage.
Wow.
Right, like a Faraday cage. So they have little miniature Faraday cages for cell phones.
You would think they would have something that would be small enough you could put in your pocket.
And it would block
it. That would either block it, or the waves would just automatically go to that target instead of the body, You'd think they'd have something that would be able to draw it to one spot so it wouldn't take over your body. I mean, I'm sure there is, if you look.
Right.
I haven't been online because I haven't really thought about any of this stuff. But you would think they would have something out to be able to take care of that.
Yeah, there's a detective in Chicago. He's a private investigator.
Okay.
And he had started getting all these calls in Chicago that had nothing to do with, like normal stuff.
Right.
And he's like, well, that's what those people are calling.
So he checked into it, and he found out about these microwaves.
Oh yeah, and they developed some kind of, and it doesn't cause any relief. It's temporary, and they just kind of, once they see that you found something, they alter the attack on you. And because nobody wants to be labeled crazy to the cops, like I mean, there's people all over Dayton that will not come to the police department. And I'm trying to be the one that's, courageous.
Trying to help encourage people and also get something started.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So here, you know, there's going to be a protest in October. If you wanted to listen in on, I don't think I brought that. There's a.
What are they doing to protest?
You basically, you hold signs, you pass out flyers,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you talk to people.
I got you.
And like in Chicago, it's embarrassing, but people were like, some people said, "Oh, I believe you." That a lot of people know it doesn't happen to them.
Right, and I mean, I believe it could happen, but you'd think there'd be something out there to block it, or that could absorb it so it doesn't go anywhere.
All right, so this is, if you wanted to have another officer do it, somebody's, like, that's a conference call, and the victims call into those calls, and you can just sit and listen to us talk about it, and it's just, it's basically a lot of complaining. There's legislation passed in California, there's a law passed in Michigan, but you're right, you wear a bulletproof vest.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the bulletproof vest will block some of it for some reason. The stuff that people wear in the hospitals to X-ray people,
mm-hmm.
Lots of TIs wear that. Magnets, all kinds of stuff that a lot of stuff doesn't work and it's crippling. And so what this woman Mitch found out is that she didn't know that her husband worked for a military weapons developer.
So where'd you get this out? I mean,
online.
You just printed that up. Did you go so you could see who was going to be? So you could see who you wanted to talk to.
Yeah, he's a TI in Boston. His name's Frank. He's an engineer.
Okay.
And so he's got a call in there. He's an engineer. Alan was a model in California. There's one TI that worked for. He was a linguist programmer from Cincinnati. It's the most brutal crime, and Dayton is getting swarmed. And
I can believe you. What I would end up doing is I'd see if there's anything that can absorb it, or reflect it, or do something. Is what I end up seeing. There has to be something. There has to be something out there that can do that. That would block the waves, either reflect it, absorb it, or something along that lines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough technology out there that they should be able to do that to help protect you.
No,
Okay.
This is the other part of it. So the voice of God weapon. In Iraq, they used it, and it's it's a news article, and the military says, yeah, we used it on them, and they told the Arabs, all I want you to put your guns down and come out, and so they thought God was talking to them when they just aimed some kind of computer rifle. So that's how I heard that.
Okay.
Right, so.
Wow. That's pretty intense.
Right, so.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to at least get this documented.
Can I get, this is just more stuff.
More stuff to hand out, reference it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because, the only people we call are the police department.
Okay. Yes, I'm going to pass this on to a certain person I know that will be into this kind of stuff and see if they can come into it. They're very techno thing, and maybe they can come up with a suggestion of how to resolve this. And if they come up with something, I'll give you a call back, let you know.
There's also computer hacking when computer's been hacked, so that's legit. Everybody knows that happens.
Right, that stuff happens, and unfortunately, I don't know of any solution on that other than
all right, time to, being kind of
having certain protection on it. They have to go pay for it through the companies and all that kind of stuff.
But do you think I could get a police report, or is it not?
It's not going to be on a report. It'll be documented, though. Okay.
Can I get your card? Do you have a card?
I don't have a card. Okay. They don't provide us with those anymore.
Okay,
That's Officer Furman.
Okay, so the last officer, if you could talk to him, because he said, I understand, but one thing that he said that was interesting, he said that, he's like, oh, it's like the California fires, they were set on fire. I said, yeah, you know about that? And he said, yeah. And if you go look at YouTube videos, these victims had cell phones up, just recording the fire, and there were beams
shining down.
They burned them.
Oh, wow.
that's
Okay.
yeah. So the voice of God weapon and the directed energy weapons, and there's a massive network in Dayton of stalkers. They're all over the west side now. They're in Kettering,
Sounds like they're all
Cincinnati.
everywhere.
Drugs. They're paying people with cocaine. Um,
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get documented about what's going on with you. I'm gonna pass this on. I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of her, see if she's still here, see if I can get this passed on to her. Otherwise, I'll have to give it to her tomorrow and see what she can come up with. Okay?
okay, thank you.
And if we come up with anything that can help you out as far as deflect or absorb any of those rays and stuff like that, or maybe in the voice of God thing, maybe we can get something in there to block it. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
All right, you take care of yourself, okay?
You too.
And I hope you have a better day.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
At least our officers are nice, so hopefully I'll get some relief.